Enough with PC gaming and hardware. Everyone these days is only talking about smartphones. And guess what? That's exactly what we're going to do. I mean, we already unboxed the Nubia Red Magic 3 last week, so might as well find out how good the phone actually is. Without further ado, here's our review of the Nubia Red Magic 3 gaming smartphone. The Red Magic 3 is probably the most affordable gaming phone you'll find in India. Starting at a price point of 36,000 rupees, it packs in a Snapdragon 855, the latest flagship processor from Qualcomm, a minimum of 8GB RAM, 128 gigs of storage and a whopping 5000 mAh battery. And all this is brought to life by a 6.65-inch 90Hz AMOLED panel. But that's not all. To make sure that the phone doesn't heat up, it uses an actual cooling fan, like the ones you see in laptops. And the phone is a looker too, at least our review unit, which is doused in bright red. The build is really solid too, and the phone is on the heavier side of the spectrum, weighing about 215 grams. It has an aggressive design inspired by sports cars, with the back of the phone housing angular elements for that gaming feel. Along with that, the backside also has the camera, the intake vent for the cooling fan, the backlit Red Magic 3 logo, fingerprint sensor and an esports inspired customizable RGB strip. The volume rocker, power button and exhaust vents are located on the right side along with the shoulder triggers, while the left side has the SIM tray, pin connector for the dock and the game mode button, but we'll talk more about that later. The bottom side has a USB Type-C charging port, while the top has a 3.5mm audio jack. But here's the funny thing. One reason that companies use for not including a 3.5mm audio jack is a bigger battery, but the Red Magic 3 has both. So is that just an excuse for following a trend? I guess we'll never find out. Anyway, back to our Nubia. One thing that I do not like about this phone is that it's big, like way too big. And you know what they say about people with big phones, don't you? That they can't use their phones comfortably with one hand. The phone still has a forehead and a chin. This certainly seems to be a bold move in a world where other phones are moving towards an all-screen front side, but there's not going to be any commendation for innovative design on that end. Personally, however, I take this over a weird-looking notch any day. The display itself is pretty amazing. The AMOLED panel has vibrant colors that pop, and the 90Hz refresh rate makes it a delight to use. It feels smooth, fluid, responsive, and the internal specs are more than strong enough to ensure you don't experience any sort of hitches. It's everything you could ask for in a phone made specifically for gamers. Which means that now would be a great time to talk about the actual gaming performance and benchmarks. When it comes to tests like 3D Mark and Geekbench, the Red Magic 3 just blows the competition out of water. That trend continues in actual games as well, and the phone can handle even the most intensive games, be it PUBG or Asphalt or whatever it is that you can throw at it without a sweat. And your gaming experience is only enhanced by the added game mode and shoulder triggers. Launching the game mode leads you to a screen that shows all your installed games, and you can adjust all the settings from right here. Swipe in from the right and you'll see a whole range of options, including metrics like phone temps, network speed and clock speeds for the CPU and GPU. Here you can also find handy buttons to enable the fan and the dock, as well as to disable any disturbances like texts and calls. Additional fan settings can be found on the top right, where you can select between intelligent mode for temperature-based cooling or rapid cooling to put it on maximum speed. And you can actually hear the fan at work. It is quite loud. But not loud enough that your gaming experience will be ruined thanks to the booming sound from the front-facing dual speakers. And the battery life on this thing is just the cherry on top. Not only does it last almost an entire day filled with hours of gaming, but can extend up to 2 days pretty easily on average use and light gaming. But if you think it ends here, think again. The Red Magic 3 also has a couple of really cool accessories, including a dock and a controller. The dock has 3 ports, including a USB Type-C, a 3.5mm jack, and get this, an Ethernet LAN port. You can activate it easily by the press of a button in the game launcher and just forget about lag. Additionally, there's a Bluetooth controller to help you, but it requires a specific cover and can be placed on either the left side or the right side, depending on what you feel is more comfortable. Truly, this phone passes every checkbox that you would want covered as a gamer. Now that we've taken a look at what makes this phone a gaming beast, let's check out the camera. The Red Magic 3 has a single 48 megapixel primary camera with f1.7 aperture with Sony's IMX586 sensor, the same one used in the OnePlus 7 Pro, but the 7 Pro has a triple camera setup. The front camera is 16 megapixels with an f2.0 aperture. The rear camera takes pretty decent looking pictures in daylight, the color reproduction is good and the pictures seem to have enough detail. Even in low light, the camera is able to capture details well enough even though there is some noise. But the camera app itself is pretty basic and even lacks the portrait mode that seems to be a standard in most phones by now. But one feature that this phone does have, and this is the only phone that has it, is that it can record video at 8K 30fps. You can also do videos at 1080p and 4K 60fps, but sadly, there's no stabilization. Apart from that, the Red Magic 3 can also record slow motion videos at 1920fps. Now, there are a lot of things to love about this phone, but there are a few minor issues that make it just a bit inconvenient. One obviously being the size of the phone, which can make it a little hard to fit into pockets that for some reason seem to be getting smaller and smaller every day. Moreover, it's pretty easy to accidentally unlock the phone using the fingerprint scanner while putting it in your pocket. But that could totally be just me because overall, the Red Magic 3 is simply a delight to use. It looks good, performs even better, and has features that can make every gamer drool out of every orifice in their body. Camera performance could be better for sure, but apart from that, the Red Magic 3 is the best gaming smartphone that you can buy that hits that sweet spot between performance and price point. If you like this review, be sure to leave a thumbs up, share the video with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more tech content.